It was a mild, serene evening when we returned home from a pleasant day spent at the nearby lake. The sky painted a canvas of fading oranges and purples, gracefully giving way to the encroaching darkness. Our spirits were light, filled with the simple joy that family outings usually bestowed upon us. However, as our car rolled into the driveway, I noticed the front door slightly ajar, a thin sliver of darkness visible between the door and the frame. A cold knot of anxiety instantly formed in my stomach. "Did we forget to close it?" murmured my wife, mirroring my concern. With cautious steps we approached, senses heightened and alert. As we entered, the house seemed to hold its breath, the atmosphere tense with an undefined unease. The familiar surroundings looked normal, but the shadow of suspicion cast a different, ominous light on everything. "We need to check the house," I whispered, the words hanging heavy in the silent space. With trepidation, we moved through the rooms, our eyes scanning for anything amiss. The living room was as we left it, the couches and decor untouched. The kitchen bore no sign of intrusion, the countertops gleaming softly under the dim light. As we continued our inspection, each room revealed nothing unusual, heightening the sense of bizarre dread permeating the air. It was when we reached the hallway leading to our bedroom that we heard it. A soft, barely perceptible sound, like a muffled breath. Freezing in our tracks, we exchanged a glance filled with fear and uncertainty. The sound came again, a whisper amongst the shadows. With heart pounding, I moved towards the bedroom, hand reaching for the doorknob with tremulous uncertainty. As the door swung open, the room bathed in the soft glow of the hallway light, revealing its secrets. At first glance, nothing seemed out of place, yet there was a tension, a subtle disruption in the atmosphere that screamed, "Intruder." Then, from the corner of my eye, I detected movement. Turning sharply, I barely had time to register the figure emerging from the shadows near the closet before chaos erupted. The figure, bathed in shadows, lunged towards us with a startling speed, their face obscured by the dim light. Panic gripped my chest, the icy fingers of fear squeezing tightly as I instinctively stepped back, shielding my wife. With a guttural cry, the intruder pushed past, their movements frantic and desperate, knocking over a lamp in the process. The room plunged into semi-darkness, the only illumination coming from the hallway light filtering through the open door. I could barely process what was happening. The space between breaths seemed to stretch and distort, each second ticking by with agonizing slowness and speed at the same time. Before I could react, the figure was already darting down the hallway, their footsteps a rapid, fading drumbeat against the wooden floor. With adrenaline surging through my veins, I gave chase, my mind a whirlwind of confusion and fear. However, by the time I reached the living room, the front door was swinging on its hinges, the cool night air rushing in to fill the void left by the fleeing intruder. I stood there, heart pounding in my ears, as I tried to make sense of the whirlwind events that had just unfolded. My wife joined me, their face a mirror of my shock and fear, eyes wide and searching for answers in the chaotic aftermath. We decided to call the police, our hands shaking as we dialed the numbers. The wait for their arrival was agonizing, each sound from the outside sending shivers down our spines. When they finally arrived, the flashing lights and authoritative presence did little to assuage our shaken nerves. The officers took our statement, their faces impassive masks as they listened to our tale. They searched the house, their flashlights cutting through the darkness, revealing nothing more than we had already discovered. The intruder had vanished into the night, leaving behind nothing but the echoes of fear and violation. In the days that followed, we struggled to reclaim a sense of normalcy. The house, once a sanctuary, now bore the invisible scars of intrusion. Each shadow seemed deeper, each sound more ominous as we moved through rooms tainted by the unseen guest. Sleep was elusive, the night stretching long and filled with imaginary sounds. We would often wake with a start, cold sweat dotting our brows, as nightmares filled our resting minds. The intruder, faceless and menacing, would often visit our dreams, their presence a lingering specter of danger and mystery. With time, the acute edge of fear began to dull, replaced by a weary alertness. We installed security systems, their blinking lights a small comfort in the darkened corners of our home. The nights grew less terrifying, the intruder's memory fading into the tapestry of our lives. As I lay in bed, gazing into the darkness, the silence whispering softly through the room, I knew that the unseen guest would never truly leave.